Listen, life isn't going to wait for you to feel ready. It doesn't care if you're tired, uncertain, or scared. The truth is, success isn't about motivation or inspiration. It's about action. It's about doing the things you don't feel like doing because that's what it takes to get results. You don't need another pep talk. You need to hear the hard truth. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. It's time to stop overthinking, stop hesitating, and start moving right now because the life you want, it's on the other side of all the excuses you're making. Let's go. The biggest mistake you're making right now is waiting until you feel like it. Let me tell you something. Nobody feels like doing the hard work. Nobody feels like pushing themselves past their comfort zone. But the people who win, they don't let their feelings dictate their actions. They do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. That's the difference. That's what separates those who get results from those who stay stuck, wishing their life would change. You know what happens when you hesitate? You lose. The second you start overthinking, making excuses, or doubting yourself, you're already behind. Your brain is wired to protect you from discomfort, from risk, from anything that feels uncertain. It's going to tell you to wait. It's going to give you a list of reasons why today isn't the right day, why you should wait until next week, next month, next year. And if you listen, you'll stay exactly where you are, stuck in the same cycle, frustrated, watching other people move forward while you stay frozen in place. The brutal truth is that life doesn't reward those who hesitate, it rewards those who move. You don't need more time, more planning, or more confidence. You need to take action, even if it's messy, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you have no idea what you're doing, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Every time you hesitate, every time you second guess yourself, you're reinforcing the habit of inaction. And the deeper that habit gets, the harder it becomes to break free from it. Stop telling yourself you need to be motivated. Motivation is a lie, it's a fleeting feeling, and it's not reliable. You'll never feel motivated enough to do the hard things. That's why you have to do them anyway. You have to get up when you don't feel like it. You have to make the call, send the email, go to the gym, start the project, especially when you don't want to, because every time you do, you build discipline. You build momentum, and that momentum is what changes your life. You're sitting on ideas, on potential, on opportunities that could change everything for you, and you're not acting on them. Why? Because of fear? Because of doubt? Because you think you're not ready? Let me tell you something. You will never be 100% ready. There is no perfect moment. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to start. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Stop looking at other people and thinking they have something you don't. They don't. The people you admire, the people who seem unstoppable, who are crushing it in their careers, their businesses, their lives, they don't have superpowers. They just have discipline. They have the ability to push past the discomfort and do the work anyway. They've built the muscle of action. And the only reason they're ahead of you is because they started. While you were waiting, while you were hesitating, they were moving. Every single time you tell yourself, I'll do it later, you are actively choosing failure. Every single time you choose comfort over progress, you are reinforcing a habit of mediocrity. And if you don't break that pattern, you will wake up years from now looking at a life that doesn't even come close to what you wanted. Regret is the most painful thing you can experience, and the only way to avoid it is to move. You don't need more information. You don't need more books, more courses, more research. You already know what to do. You've known for a long time. The problem isn't knowledge, it's action. You are drowning in knowledge, but starving for execution. And until you break that cycle, you will stay stuck exactly where you are. You are one decision to stop making excuses, one decision to take action, even when it's uncomfortable, one decision to stop hesitating and just move. It's all it takes. But nobody can make that decision for you. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do the work for you. This is on you. The good news? You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know the whole plan. You just need to take the first step. And then the next, and then the next. Action creates clarity. Action creates confidence. Action is what separates the successful from the ones who spend their lives wishing. So the question is, what are you going to do right now? Because if you don't move, nothing changes. If you don't act, your dreams stay dreams. If you don't stop hesitating, life will pass you by. The only way forward is to stop waiting, stop doubting, and start doing. Right now. No more excuses, no more hesitation, just action. The clock is ticking, and every second you waste thinking about what you should do is a second you lose. Life isn't waiting for you to feel brave. It's not waiting for you to feel comfortable. It's moving forward with or without you, and if you keep sitting on the sidelines, you'll keep losing ground. The hard truth is, nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody is coming to remind you to chase your goals. If you don't show up for yourself, nobody else will. That's the reality. You either take control or you let life control you. And control doesn't come from planning. It doesn't come from sitting around thinking about what could go wrong. Control comes from action, from making decisions, from moving forward, even when you're not sure how it's going to turn out. That's how winners operate. They don't wait for the stars to align. They move, they make mistakes, and they figure it out along the way. And that's exactly what you need to do. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act. Because the longer you wait, the more chances you miss. The more you hesitate, the more you train your brain to freeze, to back off, to choose comfort over growth. You say you want change, you say you want to grow, but every time it's time to do the work, you back down. You tell yourself you're tired. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. And you know what that is? It's weakness. It's comfort controlling you. You've been choosing comfort for too long, and that's why you're stuck. Growth isn't supposed to feel easy. It's not supposed to feel comfortable. Growth hurts. Progress is painful. That's why most people avoid it. But you're not most people. You know deep down that you're capable of more. You know you've been playing small. And it's time to stop. Because the truth is, the longer you play small, the more you convince yourself that you're not capable of more. You shrink into the version of yourself that hesitates, that avoids discomfort, that chooses easy. And every time you do, you weaken your own potential. You tell yourself stories like, I'm just not ready, or I'll start when I have more time. And it sounds logical, it sounds smart, but it's a lie. Because deep down, you know that time is just an excuse. You make time for what matters. If it mattered, you'd find a way. And the fact that you haven't is proof that comfort has been winning. You don't need to feel brave to act. You need to act. And that's how you become brave. Courage doesn't show up before the action. It shows up because of it. You build courage by doing the hard things, by facing the fear, by leaning into the discomfort. That's how you get stronger. That's how you grow. And the more you avoid the hard things, the weaker you become. Not physically, mentally, emotionally. The more you let yourself off the hook, the easier it gets to quit. The easier it gets to stay stuck. And you know what stuck feels like. You know how frustration eats at you. How you sit there wondering why nothing's changing while doing nothing to change it. That feeling will destroy you if you let it. Because here's the truth. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how talented you are, or how much potential you have. If you don't act, it's worthless. If you don't move, it means nothing. Potential is just wasted energy if you never turn it into action. And nobody's coming to push you. Nobody's coming to save you. If you want it, you have to take it. You have to decide that comfort isn't enough anymore, that playing small isn't enough anymore. You have to decide that you're done living under the weight of your own excuses. Stop overthinking. Stop waiting for some sign that it's your time. It is your time. The moment you decide it is, the moment you stop hesitating and start doing. And yeah, it's going to be messy. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. That's the price of progress. That's the cost of becoming someone stronger. If you're not willing to pay that price, then stop saying you want change, because change isn't cheap. Change costs time, effort, discomfort, sacrifice. It costs your excuses. It costs your laziness. And if you're not ready to give that up, then you're not ready for the life you say you want. You can't cheat this. You can't shortcut it. You can't wish your way into success. The only way out is through the work, through the effort, through the discomfort, and it starts now. Not later, not tomorrow, now. Because the more you delay, the harder it gets. The more you hesitate, the deeper you sink into the same patterns that keep you stuck. And every time you let that happen, you send yourself the message that it's okay to settle, that it's okay to stay small, that it's okay to live a life that's less than what you're capable of. And it's not okay. You're better than that. You know you are. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. You wouldn't be thinking about how to grow, how to improve, how to push forward if there wasn't a part of you that knew you were meant for more. And that part of you is fighting to be heard. It's fighting to break free from the comfort you've built around it. But comfort is strong. Comfort is powerful. It will suffocate every dream you have if you let it. That's why you have to move. That's why you have to act. Not just once, but over and over again, every single day. Because success isn't one big decision. It's 1,000 small ones. It's saying yes to the hard work when you'd rather quit. It's saying yes to growth when you'd rather be comfortable. It's saying yes to action even when fear is screaming at you to stop. And every yes makes you stronger. Every yes builds discipline. Every yes gets you one step closer to the life you want. But every time you say no, every time you choose comfort, every time you back down, you strengthen the chains that are holding you back. This is about power, about taking it back, about deciding that your life isn't going to be controlled by fear or doubt or hesitation anymore. You're in control. You decide who you become. You decide what kind of life you build, and it starts with action right now. Not later, not after you think about it some more, not after you feel ready. Now. You have to decide what kind of person you're going to be. The kind who talks about change, dreams about success, imagines a better life, but stays stuck because action feels uncomfortable. Or the kind who feels the fear and moves anyway, who wakes up every day and chooses progress over excuses, growth over comfort, action over hesitation. That choice isn't made once. It's made every single day, in every moment when you're tempted to procrastinate, to avoid, to wait for motivation that will never come, because motivation isn't coming. It's not some magical force that's going to sweep in and carry you to success. That's a fantasy. What's coming is more of the same if you don't get up and do the work. What's coming is the life you're tolerating right now, the one you complain about, the one you say isn't enough, and the only way to change it is to take action. Relentless, uncomfortable, imperfect action. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now, this second. Because the moment you start moving, the game changes. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you start taking control. You start building discipline. You start creating momentum. And momentum is everything. Momentum is what separates the ones who win from the ones who lose. Because once you start moving, it gets easier to keep moving. Once you take one step, it's easier to take the next. But hesitation kills momentum. Doubt kills momentum. Waiting kills momentum. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets to start. The longer you hesitate, the stronger your excuses become. And soon, they're not excuses anymore. They're beliefs. Beliefs that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that success is for other people but not for you. And none of it is true. It's just comfort talking. It's just fear pretending to be logic. You know how you kill those beliefs? You act. You do the thing that scares you. You take the first step, even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it makes no sense. Because action is how you prove to yourself that fear is a liar. Action is how you build confidence. Not thinking, not planning, not reading books or listening to podcasts. Action. Real, raw, uncomfortable action. That's the price of progress. That's the cost of building a life that's bigger than your excuses. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to feel awkward. You're going to question yourself. You're going to feel like you're failing. But that's the point. Growth is messy. Progress is ugly. And if you're waiting for it to feel smooth and perfect, you'll be waiting forever. You don't get to skip the struggle. You don't get to skip the discomfort. You earn the results by fighting through it, by showing up even when it sucks, by doing the work when it's boring, when it's painful, when it feels pointless. That's where the transformation happens. That's where the progress is made. You know why most people stay stuck? Because they think the struggle means they're failing. They think discomfort is a sign they should stop, that it's too hard, that they're not cut out for it. But it's the opposite. Discomfort is the signal that you're doing it right, that you're pushing the boundaries, that you're breaking out of the same patterns that have kept you stuck. If it feels easy, you're not growing. If it feels comfortable, you're not changing. Growth hurts. Progress hurts. It's supposed to. So stop looking for the easy way out. Stop waiting for it to feel good. Stop thinking that one day you'll wake up feeling fearless and confident and ready to take over the world. That day isn't coming. What's coming is more of the same, unless you choose to fight for something different, unless you choose to embrace the discomfort, embrace the struggle, and act anyway. That's how you win. That's how you build a life that's bigger than your fear. And yes, you're going to fail. You're going to mess up. You're going to fall flat on your face, and it's going to suck. But failure isn't the enemy. Failure is feedback. Failure is the price of success. If you're not failing, you're not trying. If you're not failing, you're not pushing hard enough. So stop being afraid of it. Stop trying to avoid it. Run toward it. Seek it out. Because every time you fail, you learn. You get stronger. You get smarter. You get better. And that's how you win, not by avoiding failure, but by using it. The people who succeed, they don't succeed because they're fearless. They succeed because they act despite fear. They succeed because they fail over and over, and they keep going. They learn, they adjust, they fight. And every time they get knocked down, they get back up and move again. That's it. That's the game. It's not complicated. It's not magical. It's just a decision. Every day, get up, move, act, fight. And don't think for 1 second that you can't do it. Don't think for 1 second that you're not capable. You have everything you need. You have strength, you have resilience, you have power. You're just not using it. You're letting fear and comfort and hesitation dictate your life, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can choose differently. You can choose action. You can choose progress. You can choose to fight for the life you want, even if it's hard, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it scares you, especially if it scares you, because fear is a compass. Fear points you to the thing you need to do. Fear is a signal that says, go this way, there's growth here. So stop running from it, stop avoiding it, walk straight into it. Do the thing that scares you. Do the thing that feels impossible, because when you do, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than the fear. And that's how you grow. That's how you win. That's how you become unstoppable. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about moving. It's about acting. It's about deciding that you're not going to let another day pass you by while you sit and think about what could be. It's about deciding that you're done waiting, done hesitating, done playing small. It's about deciding that comfort isn't enough anymore. You want more, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. That's the mindset, that's the attitude, that's what it takes. Because the truth is, nobody is going to hand it to you. Nobody's going to knock on your door and deliver success. Nobody's going to show up and drag you to the life you want. It's on you. It's always been on you. And you're strong enough to handle it. You're powerful enough to fight for it. You just have to stop waiting. You just have to stop thinking. You just have to start moving right now. The world doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to stop and ask if you're ready. It's not going to pause while you figure it out. The world keeps moving, and if you're not moving with it, you're falling behind. That's reality. Every day you wait is a day you lose. Every day you hesitate is a day you waste. You say you want change, you say you want progress, but what are you actually doing to make it happen? Thinking about it, talking about it, writing it down in a notebook? None of that matters if you're not acting. None of that matters if you're not showing up and doing the hard, uncomfortable, unglamorous work it takes to build something real. You don't earn results by thinking about them. You earn results by fighting for them. Every single day. You think the people who succeed have it easier than you? You think they don't feel fear? You think they don't wake up some days wanting to quit? They do. They just don't listen to those feelings. They push through them. They act anyway. They don't let fear control them. They don't let excuses win. And that's the difference. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not some secret formula. It's just relentless, unapologetic action. Every day, no matter what. And if you're not willing to match that energy, don't expect to match those results. Stop saying you're waiting for the right time. The right time is a lie. It's an excuse dressed up as logic. There is no perfect moment. There is no magical day when fear disappears and confidence shows up. You don't get stronger by waiting. You get stronger by acting. You get stronger by stepping into the discomfort, facing it head on, and proving to yourself that you can handle it. That's how confidence is built. That's how courage is built. You act first, and the strength comes later. But if you wait, you stay weak. If you hesitate, you stay stuck. And let me be clear, waiting is a choice. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, you're making a decision. You're choosing comfort. You're choosing fear. You're choosing to stay exactly where you are. And if you keep choosing that, don't be surprised when nothing changes. Don't be surprised when you wake up a year from now, 5 years from now, still stuck, still frustrated, still wondering why you're not where you want to be. It's not because life is unfair. It's because you chose easy. You chose comfort. You chose hesitation over progress. And every time you make that choice, you reinforce the habit of staying small. You teach yourself that it's okay to back down, that it's okay to quit, that it's okay to let fear win. But it's not okay. Not if you want more. Not if you believe you're meant for something bigger. Because you don't get more by doing less. You don't get stronger by playing it safe. You don't get better by sitting in comfort. You grow by doing the hard thing, by stepping up when it's uncomfortable, by moving when it's painful, by acting when every part of you wants to stop. That's how you win. That's how you build a life that means something. And yet it's going to hurt. It's going to be exhausting. You're going to want to quit 1,000 times. That's the price of growth. That's the cost of becoming something more than you are right now. You have to sacrifice. You have to let go of the version of yourself that settles, that hesitates, that plays small. You have to kill the excuses. You have to silence the doubts. You have to stand up and move even when it feels like everything is against you. That's how you get stronger. That's how you build discipline. And discipline is freedom. Discipline is power. Discipline is the foundation for every result you've ever wanted, because when motivation dies, discipline keeps you moving. When excitement fades, discipline holds you up. When everything feels heavy, when everything feels impossible, discipline is the thing that gets you out of bed. It's the thing that makes you show up. It's the thing that separates winners from losers. And discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through action, through repetition, through doing the thing every single day, whether you feel like it or not, especially when you don't feel like it. That's when it matters most. That's when it counts. Because anyone can act when it's easy. Anyone can show up when they're motivated. But when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's uncomfortable, that's when most people quit. It's when most people tell themselves it's okay to take a break. That's when most people go back to comfort. But not you. Not if you want more. Not if you're done settling. You don't quit when it's hard. You don't stop when it's uncomfortable. You keep moving, you keep acting, because that's where growth happens. That's where strength is built. And if you think you're going to fail, good. Fail. Get it over with. Learn from it. Use it. Failure isn't the enemy, it's the path, it's the teacher. It's the only way you get better. The only way you grow. And if you're avoiding failure, you're avoiding progress. You're avoiding the very thing that will shape you into someone stronger, faster, better. Stop fearing failure and start fearing comfort, because comfort will kill every dream you have. Comfort will keep you stuck. Comfort will convince you that average is enough. And it's not. Not for you. Not if you're serious about winning. Not if you're serious about building something bigger than your excuses. You have to want it more than you want to be comfortable. You have to want it more than you want to feel safe. You have to be willing to risk, to fail, to hurt, to sacrifice. That's the cost. That's the price. And if you're not ready to pay it, stop pretending you're serious about change. Stop pretending you're serious about growth, because growth costs everything. It costs your time. It costs your energy. It costs your comfort. But what you get in return? Power, confidence, strength, freedom. You get to wake up and know that you fought for this, that you earned it, that you became someone stronger because you didn't quit, because you didn't hesitate, because you didn't let fear win. You get to know that you showed up when it was hard, that you acted when it was uncomfortable, that you kept moving when everything in you wanted to stop. And that's the kind of pride that nobody can take from you. That's the kind of strength that builds an unshakable life. So here it is, raw, real, and simple. The life you want, the strength you crave, the success you dream about, it's all waiting on the other side of action. Not thought, not planning, not waiting for the perfect moment, action. Relentless, uncomfortable, imperfect action. You already have everything you need. The strength is in you, the discipline is in you, the courage is in you. You just have to decide. Decide that fear won't win. Decide that comfort isn't enough. Decide that today, right now, you move, you act, you fight, because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. It's on you. And you're strong enough to handle it. So get up, get moving, and don't stop until you're standing in the life you refused to quit on.